Hey, Trinity here. So I got three new Oracle decks because I love me some Oracle decks, and I also have a situation with my child, and so I figured why not do a Six of Cups reading, because the Six of Cups often talks about, or it can represent our children in our lives, and so that's what this is intended to do. So we're going to go ahead and do a reading with the Oracle of the Phoenix because we're done with this shit and we're going to rise. See, brand new. Boop. Then we're going to do the Oracle of the Hecatan Path, which is Hecate, by the way. And then we're going to do Goddess Power. Ooh, this is from Colette Baron Reed, by the way. I love her stuff, so super excited about this. All right. Get these all set up and ready. Sorry, you're unboxing with me. It's an unboxing video. Shut up. What are you doing? Why are you taking so long? Shut up. I hear you. All right. So let's go ahead and do Hecate. Funny thing. I was talking in my group chat with some ladies, and I had said that I had gotten these cards, and I put because I need divine intervention, and the because autocorrected to Hecate. I need divine intervention, which means I called her. So let's see what she has to say. All right. I'm going to do it a third time. We have one sticking up. All right. Hecate, is there anything else that I need to know about the situation with the collective children? Because I know it's not just mine. When I was at the gas station this morning, I was getting some coffee, and the lady behind the counter was like, all of a sudden just talked about the trouble she was having with her child. So I know that this is something that's really been bothering a lot of parents. So I'm glad I can do this for all of us. Wish I didn't have to. All right. 32. Sacrifice. I'm getting a lot of bees. I've been seeing a lot of bees everywhere lately, have you? Honey. All right. The next one is 21. Secrets. And finally, intuition. All right. So my first instinct is to clarify the secret that's been going on. There's something that has been going on with the child in question, if this is resonating for you, that they've been keeping from you. What secrets? 3 right off the bat. Jeepers. Okay. We've got 4 of Wands, 8 of Swords, and Knight of Wands. All right. The first thing that comes to mind is that they may be having some issues with something that they're struggling with from their past. Specifically with a male energy. Now, this could translate to having some struggles with their gender identity. It could translate to being wrapped up in their head about an event that happened that they haven't told you about from their past. Let me clarify a little bit more. Can I get some more clarification on secrets, please? King of Swords and the Fool. In my opinion, I think, well, not necessarily my opinion, but the device or the advice that's intuitively coming to me is that there has been something that they've been holding back from telling you. And so the best way to get that out is through, like, if you can find a counselor that they can build trust with so that they can feel vulnerable enough to open up. Also, developing those channels of communication with them in a constructive way. So, obviously if they've done something, that deserves a consequence, it's really important as parents that we follow through with the consequences that we say we're going to do. And they should be reasonable consequences that are thought through before we act upon them. Cause when we're mad, we're going to come up with irrational consequences. Okay. However, they have been really worried about telling you this. And it may be something that they've been doing behind your back, not turning in homework. But it's weird because I'm seeing that they have a little bit of success here, that has come through. And it's almost like they've won an award and didn't tell you about it, or they, had a good experience at school and never told you about it. So maybe start going through those rose and thorn type of questions. Get into the cadence of asking them every day, what was the rose of your day? What was the thorn of your day? What was the good part of your day? What was the bad part of your day? That will help them open up a little bit. But I know, I told my friends this morning, raising a teenager is like nailing Jello to a tree. Once you think you've got it, all of a sudden it just slides right off. So, don't beat yourself up too much. Teenagers are really hard. But making a decision to hold them accountable so that they can learn what that looks like in a controlled environment. Because I promise you, if you enable them and let them get away with everything, or if you're too harsh with them, both of those extremes can be really, really devastating for moving into adulthood. So, be rational, and then follow through with the consequences that you set forth. Because if they know they can wriggle out of it, they will. If you have been one who has struggled with holding up boundaries, holding up your end of the consequences if they do something, and they've already got you tapped. They already know that you will cave. And so when you start actually holding that boundary, you're going to see what's called an extinction burst, because what we're trying to do is get the behavior on extinction, which means we're trying to eradicate the behavior. And you may see a burst of negative behaviors because they're trying to hold on to the ability to continue that behavior. Okay. That is ABA talk. And so don't be surprised if they fight a little bit with you or up the ante, because what had been working before isn't working before. So they're going to try and get you to cave with even more. This can look like amplified, like turning up the volume on the current behaviors that they have. It can be new novel behaviors that they've never done before. But it's all manipulation. And our job as a parent is to see through it and say, no, this is the boundary that has been set and I'm following through with it. So, and that's, a proper reinforcement schedule. And it's really hard to walk back boundaries, but we can do it. Okay. All right. I'm being told to hold these up here, which is interesting. All right. And so, you have kind of felt your spidey senses have been going off lately about something not being right. Like you've known that there have been secrets that have been kept from you. I'm going to get some clarity. That's why they wanted me to hold that, because those cards already used. So we'll keep those up there. Clarify sacrifice for me, please. The Lovers. Seven of Pentacles. Eight of Wands. And the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. This is a sacrifice on your end. You've got to make some choices moving forward as to how you're going to navigate this, and knowing when to be patient and when to take action is going to be key. If you have not been a present parent, which in this day and age with our phones and being on them as much as we are, or, you know, being at work all the time, that can be actually easier said than done. But you're being asked to sacrifice that time when you get home. It's important to have a little bit of time for yourself, but, you know, ask them to join you with certain activities. If you're cleaning house, have them clean house with you. I know, easier said than done with a teenager. Most teenagers are buttholes. I'm sorry. We were buttholes too once. We have to remember that. But we also, in hindsight, we should really look at what our parents did that worked and what didn't work. You may want to call a parent and ask for some advice on how to navigate this, especially once you find out what this secret is. They may not know how to handle it, especially if it's something like, you know, how do I put this? If this is something that involves SA, that they haven't told you about, your parent may not know how to navigate that, unless you yourself went through that and they helped you through that. That is kind of a realm in and of itself. In that instance, you're going to want to get with a mentor and really look at what the next steps forward should be, so that you can be as supportive as possible without being enabling. All right. I am being told that now I'm to pull this. Okay. All right. Okay, so they've got this in a very interesting order. All right, so the Four of Wands is above the Lovers. So you, this is to further the message in dealing with the secret that they have. You need to make the decision that you're going to succeed through this and have an optimistic point of view. Your child is an extension of you, but it is an individual. And so allowing them to learn who they are as human beings will be important, but also guiding them, you know, so that they are not making really dumb decisions for themselves. But that takes being able to be open and honest and having good communication so that they're coming to you with their problems. I know, like, I always strive to be the type of mother who my kids can come to at any time. And of the two parents that they have, I am the one who they come with most of their secrets, not all of them. And sometimes it takes them a while for them to bring those secrets out just because they're embarrassed about it or feel guilt and shame. But if you can hold space for your child so that they feel heard, that's going to be really, really important moving forward. Don't stay wrapped up in your head. That's the Eight of Swords above the Seven of Pentacles. It can be really, really easy to overthink everything when you are in that process of needing to be patient. Don't get on doing something that will benefit you. Self-care is good. going out and having fun is good, but getting out of your own head will really, really help you see clearly as to when it is appropriate to take action. If you're just constantly worrying nonstop all day long about what's going on, then that's going to be counterintuitive, because you are going to assume the worst about everything. And it's like, is there something that has happened that you are unaware of? Absolutely, according to the cards. But if you are constantly, making assumptions, about what happened, or if you are, being really controlling about, you're going to tell me, there, first and foremost, that's a good way to get somebody to shut down. You need to build trust, between them. But staying out of your own way means getting out of your own head and being in the present moment. So like, if you are, really, really frustrated, go wash a dish, go scrub something, go do some laundry, go, do those stupid mundane things that nobody wants to do anyway, and get that energy out. Because A, your house will get clean, and B, you will, not be wrapped up in the emotionality of it all. There's a time and a place for emotion, but we manufacture false emotion, or emotions over false situations, when we stay wrapped up in our own head. So the Knight of Wands, with the Eight of Wands, there is going to be action that's needed to be taken very soon here. I don't know why I'm looking at his plume. I'm going to show you his plume here. I'm not sure why that's standing out. Maybe your child has a mohawk. I don't know. It reminds me of a silky chicken, if I'm honest with you. So if you see like the crest of a silky chicken, or a plume like this, or a knight in shining armor, that may be spirit trying to confirm to you something, or to kind of lead those breadcrumbs down the path that it wants you to go. So bear that in mind, because I think that's going to be your signal, just in case you are struggling with not knowing when to take action and when to be patient. The King of Swords with the Ace of Pentacles, you are going to have a really good opportunity to model good behavior in complex circumstances. Let's just put it that way. And you're guided to do so. Take this opportunity to be a really good example, because we can tell our kids till we're blue in the face what they should be doing and all that. But if you're anything like me and you're in recovery, you know just as well as I do that hey, I'm an addict and an alcoholic, which is kind of like, teenagers may not be using substances, but they pretty much are the same attitude, where it's because alcoholics and addicts didn't grow up. And if you tell us to do something, we ain't going to do it. We're going to turn around and walk the other direction. But if you make it a suggestion and then kind of prompt it as their idea, and they see you getting the payoff of you taking decisive action and you making changes, then they're going to want that for themselves. And so that's kind of where you're being asked to guide them, is to more model behavior and make it a suggestion, or to show them the right way, rather than just blah, 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 because our talking is really useless with a lot of them. So basically, take the cotton out of your out of your ears and put them in your mouth when you're dealing with your child, because right now they need to be heard, and you can't do that if you're constantly just, like constantly coming down on them. So that is one thing for that. All right. And this is going to be a huge leap of faith, because whatever this is, you don't know how to navigate this, because this is something relatively new for you to be doing. And so, and that's okay. That's okay. God will guide you through this process. as to what to do that is best. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself, making sure that you're drinking enough water, getting enough sleep, eating healthy foods, moving your body, meditating and praying, doing all of the things to take care of yourself, because your recovery has to come first. Because if you are focusing your attention on just this problem, that's when the voices in our heads start going, it would be a really good idea to have a drink right now. And it's not a good idea to have a drink right now. It's like the worst idea to have a drink right now, or a drug. So, anyway, let's go ahead and pull from, I'm being told I can put the Hecate away. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to pull one Phoenix card and one Goddess card. So, the Phoenix is going to represent where we are at in the current moment, and then the Goddess card is going to be what we need to embody to move through that. Okay, all right. Oh, I forgot to shuffle these, so let me go ahead and shuffle them really quick, because they knew. He may be a butthole, but he's my butthole. I made him myself. Took me 9 whole months. I'm pretty proud of it. Even if it's not perfect. I'm not perfect. All right, so here is our card for the Phoenix. I have got tenderness, okay? Oh, and look at the Phoenix in there. That's so pretty. Okay. So, where we're at right now, we may feel some sort of way about this, whether it's, feeling hurt or feeling worried about our child, or, but there is that undertone of being very tender with them. And so I think that's going to be important moving forward, because whatever they're hiding, they're hiding it for a reason. It's because they're sensitive about it. So, and we can get through anything. Okay? So don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Didn't know I could sing on key, did you? Oh. So we have Cerridwen potential. There's a lot of potential for a lot of growth here, okay? This is one of those tower moments that had to come to the forefront for us to actually see what's left behind. Like, the tower had to come down because it was BS tower built on a faulty foundation. Now that we are going to be able to see everything, we're going to be able to build on what we see. And that is building something on truth, and that is where we make a firm foundation in a tower that that can be long lasting. Okay, we are going to be fine. Your child is going to be fine. And you know what? If you're in my collective, I know that you're a good parent, because you sat here and watched through this whole thing, because you're like, I don't know what to do, and I need some divine guidance. So, if no one has told you today, know that I love you and your kiddo. Take care.